When you hear someone mention God, sweet tea, and the SEC, you know they're talking about the American South.
Welcome back to another episode of the American South. Another busy week for Razorback fans and Razorback athletics. Tyler, you want to speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, so Mark May comes to the Little Rock Touchdown Club and sparks the Arkansas fan base another week. It's getting interesting down there. Here is a clip, but first, let me get in a word from our sponsor, Cross and Coffee Company. They're a faith-based coffee company. Their coffee isn't just about great taste. Each bag is a little reminder to sip and connect with Jesus. Guys, if you would please use our code American South 10 on their website, you get 10% off your order. And just get to order and do business with great people, drink a great cup of coffee every morning, and have a little reminder on the bag, little Bible verse to remind you to start your morning connecting with Jesus, which is an awesome way to start each day. But let's go to the clip of Mark May at the Little Rock Touchdown Club.
Up there.
The first thing is you're missing a leader in the athletic department. When you go and look at good teams, good schools that have longevity, that are up at the top year in and year out, you look at the athletic director. He's probably somebody that's established, that's been there and done it. I'll tell you a story. About 15 years ago, I'm at the SEC Media Days. I'm playing golf with Mel Moore. You may not know Mel Moore. He was the athletic director at Alabama for a long time. I asked him, why did you hire Nick Saban? Because he got a lot of heat when he first hired Saban because basically he was at the Miami Dolphins and got fired there. And he said, I thought in my heart when I looked in his eyes, I felt that he was the right guy at the right place, and that place is Alabama. And there's a statue outside of the stadium right now of, guess who? Nick Saban. He lost one of his first games to Louisiana Monroe, but Mel Moore stuck with him because he knew down the road dividends were going to pay off. Now you've got to find that guy here at Arkansas. You've got to find that culture builder, that guy that's going to buy in to stay here because this is a destination job. This is a job that people want to go to. You're in the SEC. You're in Arkansas. It's the game in Arkansas. You have no professional teams. You have no professional football team, no professional baseball team, no professional basketball team. You are it. You have no competition for colleges. It's not like South Carolina where you have Clemson in South Carolina, or Alabama where you've got Alabama and Auburn. You have Arkansas in the state of Arkansas, and you should stick your chest out and beat it and act like it because you're the top dog in this state. And you better get the right guy at this head coaching position and get it done.
So along those same lines, we've had Hunter Yurachek here, and one of the things, money is an issue, and we've talked about on our show quite a bit that you can have the right attitude and have, say all the things you want to say what you want to say. But, last week, Mac Brown said it, David, he said, the game of football is now about buying players. That's what it's going to. So do you believe that Arkansas has the ability with 16 great teams in the SEC to be able to raise the money to compete with other schools?
Well, as it was said earlier, you've got more billionaires in this state than Alabama and anybody else in Mississippi does. Why can't you compete? Not only compete, but be better than them. Why can't you? You've got to follow this football team, and you've got to get the support. And if I'm the athletic director here, I sure as heck don't come out and say in the media that we can't compete and we can't financially stand up to the other teams in this conference. You don't say that.
All right, guys. Obviously, Mark May fired up about what's going on in the Arkansas athletic department. Colin, what are your thoughts on everything going on there?
I think it's crazy. He's totally right. Hunter Yurachek, the athletic director of Arkansas, he's the one that's supposed to be leading the NIL charge. He's the one that's supposed to be getting people on the phone, getting money in the door for Razorback athletics. He changed Bud Walton's seating, and that made everybody extremely mad. And attendance is awful at basketball games now. Hunter Yurachek has to take some of the blame on himself. People will say, Razorback sports across the board is great. You're correct. Soccer coach been there forever. Dave Van Horn been there forever. John Calipari, who hired John Calipari? Wasn't Hunter Yurachek. It was John Tyson. He was the financial backing of everything. Softball's been great. Track, soccer, what all? Everything is good at Arkansas besides the football program. And that's what makes the Razorback fans upset. If Arkansas has a winning season in football, you will have a lot of happy campers in the state of Arkansas. And I think that's what the University of Arkansas has to get back to. Looking from the outside in, I just think Arkansas athletics has to have a winning football program.
Yeah, and Indiana has proven that with the right guy and the right financial backing, it's possible. At Alabama, since they've had a great football program, attendance there has gone up. What's the ultimate goal of athletics at a university? It's to bring in more students, bring in more people to pay tuition for room and board, all of those things. Guys, universities are still a business, and athletics are a tool for those universities to use to make more money. And guess what? The football programs at these universities is the big money maker. Arkansas is missing out on that. They are missing out on it big time because you got a guy in charge who, as you saw in our video last week, doesn't even care about the nostalgia or the history of Arkansas Razorbacks, of the Arkansas Razorbacks. And now on top of that, he has made numerous mistakes, among those admitting that they are not in a position to compete for a national championship. And whose fault is that? That is Hunter Yurachek's fault. 100% Hunter Yurachek's fault. He can try to blame everybody else, donors, whatever. It's his job to make sure that happens. The reason donors didn't get excited, the reason that he didn't reach out to donors and try to get things moving was because he thought that NIL was going to be ruled out in court. He thought it was going to come to an end, that it wasn't going to be able to be done the same way that it is. That didn't happen. So now he's behind the eight ball. He's having to put his foot in his mouth because he messed up. And you got other athletic directors at other universities getting it done, making sure that they're not in the same position that Arkansas is in, and they're succeeding. How can Indiana go from a below 500 football program the past 20 years to 11-2 last year? They're 11-0 right now. How can Ole Miss, a 7-5, 8-4 on average program, go to what they are now, probably a playoff team? And everybody's going to say, oh, that was Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin helped, but they have an athletic director in Keith Carter who understands the task.
And for a football coach coming in, Razorback fans are going to have to understand these two things. They're either going to be stuck with Bobby Petrino, which, as this season's gone, I know Razorback fans do not want that. The second is you're gonna have to take a chance on a group of five. You're not gonna get a big name coach to come to your university where the athletic director has no care, has no financial backing for the football program. And I think that's just gonna ultimately make a coach disinterested in it, where you're gonna have to get a guy like Eric Morris, Alex Golis, Ryan Silverfield. Those coaches are great, but they're not proven in the SEC. And I think you have to be proven in the SEC to get the Arkansas job. But nobody's going to want the Arkansas job if you don't have that respect and financial backing from the whole state. And that comes from the top in Hunter Yurachek's position. And I think he has got to get the boot.
Yeah, definitely. And here's the other thing. When you know that your football program is in the position it's in, and the word coming out of the state of Arkansas is that they have boosters that are ready to put this football team in the right position to win now. So that means as an athletic director, your only job right now is to go get a splash hire. That's all you got to do. You got the money for a contract, you got the money for NIL, you've got a state that's not full of talent, but you got 10 kids a year going right now and playing college football D1 at other places. You got a starting quarterback at Minnesota. Kane Archer just committed to Utah, a guy that I don't think has lost a football game as the starting quarterback at Greenwood. You got a lot of potential in the state of Arkansas, and you're letting it get out of the state. That's the first problem. The second problem is that how are you going to inspire people to come play football here? Well, it's probably not by saying things like, we're not set up financially to win national championships at Arkansas. It's probably not by burying all of your accolades from past football programs in a storage unit in Rogers. It's probably not by getting on the college football playoff show and making a fool of yourself like he's done twice now. So, as a representative of not only the University of Arkansas and the football program, but as a fellow Arkansan, to be honest with you, I don't think he represents Arkansans right now. And obviously this is an SEC show. We are from Arkansas. A little bit of that bias coming through. I hate to do that, but it's true. We are Arkansans, and he is not representing the state of Arkansas very well right now. And there is potential for this program to be great. And I think that we talked about it last week, hinted in the title. I think if Arkansas is going to move forward as a football program, Hunter Yurachek has got to go.
And I think him saying we don't have the financial backing, you have 3 Fortune 500 companies in a 30-minute radius with Walmart, Tyson, and JB Hunt. Obviously, Tyson pays for the entire basketball team, and John Tyson pays for it. That's what, 16 million, I believe, last time I checked, or around there, that Tyson's paying. You're telling me you can't get somebody else, you can't call somebody else and get them to donate loads of money. Arkansas is the only professional team in the state. You got Arkansas State and small D1 schools. It's not like Mississippi where you got Ole Miss, Mississippi State. It's not like Alabama where you got Alabama and Auburn. Missouri's got pro teams. Obviously, Texas, Tennessee, same thing. All of these teams have pro teams. Or South Carolina's got South Carolina, Clemson. These big schools. Arkansas is the biggest school, one of the only big schools. They only have a Sun Belt team in the state, and I think that's what's hurting Arkansas. Is everybody 98% of the people in Arkansas are Razorback fans and root for Arkansas, and it's tough to root for a football program that has no want to win. And going into every week, you're like, well, here's another loss, and that's got to start from the top. And it always starts from the top and drips its way down. And I think you're right. Hunter Yurachek cannot be the athletic director, and I hope he is not making the hire for this new coach.
Man, attitude reflects leadership. If you've got a leader who doesn't have confidence in you to get your job done, who repeatedly tells you, sorry, this is the best I can do to put you together a football team, then as a head coach, you feel like, hey, I'm behind in this. Do I think that helps? 100%. 100% the NIL backing helps. But do you mean to tell me that there are schools right now who haven't been able to figure out how to navigate around that? There have been. There have been successful football programs that beat D1 teams. For example, Memphis. Memphis is 4-0 versus SEC teams in the last 4 or 5 years. If they can do it, anybody can do it. So don't let Hunter Yurachek or anybody in the athletic department convince you that there's nothing that can be done about this football program. If that is their true feelings, it's because they don't know how to fix it. But there is somebody that does know how, and it will change.
That is exactly right. They don't know how to fix it, and they're trying to cover it up. But that will do it. Let us know down in the comments what's your opinions on this, and what do you think will happen with Hunter Yurachek? Will he stay for a year, couple more years? And what's your opinion on him becoming the chair of the College Football Playoff Committee? And like Tyler said, making a fool of himself in his first presser and first release to the country. And so make sure you like and follow for more SEC content like this.